Oh, hey everyone, me again. This is a follow-up video on this antique lock. So that I got for Christmas. The last video is where I pull this to bits and we talk about what I find inside. Anyway, a bit more of a follow-up. So post that video, there was some discussion, and I posted in my community feed what this says. I'll try and remember off the it says like Harrison. Sorry if you can't see, I'm trying to read around the camera. Harrison & Co. patent detector 1187. Maybe that's the patent number, not necessarily the year. 14 London, and what's that, Liverport or Liver something, whatever. And so people want to know what that was. Anyway, what's interesting is I think it's a patent and detector. So Gazz down in the comments was saying that a Chubb Detector, there's a special Chubb detector in the Chubb styles lever locks that has this anti-pick feature. And maybe this is, and he said the mechanism that kind of oscillates looks a bit like it. So it's probably what it is. It makes a lot more sense now. This patented detector system has been put into this lock. So I was going to quickly, let's open it back up, have a look, and then it suddenly makes a little bit more sense. I'll unlock if Seymour pulls apart, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, here it is, pulled the bits. Still in the unlock position. I've only got 2 levers in here now. This is the mechanism we're talking about that kind of detects that you've been picking it. So the basic idea is when you're picking, you're lifting, here's the post, you're lifting it up and you're pushing it over here, so the bolt can go this way. It's picked up by the key. Now, if it's the right height, it should just, if I put a bit of pressure on, and I just locked it. Because I picked too high, it's engaged this detector, and because of those grooves, it is now stuck. This doesn't make sense because it's stuck open. So maybe because of the shape of it, the shape of these ramps, maybe it makes more sense if this was in a locked position. So let's get this in a locked position, if it allows me to. Kind of first picking it, aren't I? There we go, got it in the locked position, pulled it out. It goes in there. It doesn't seem to click properly. Anyway. So the idea is to pick it, you're going to lift these things and push it back the other way, go this way. And if you lift it too high, you actually, in the act of picking, this is going to click over, get stuck down and stop going backwards. Why it's not doing it right now? Maybe it's because I've pulled it to bits, or maybe I haven't tightened it all up enough. Because I should be able to put a bit of pressure on here. So I'm picking it back. The idea is that should click down just like that in the locked position though. And if that had happened, you would see that cutout, or actually more rather, the cutout you see back there would lock it and not be able to open it. The question is, how do you reset if that happens? One, maybe that's what this hole is for here. So someone can deactivate that lock by, I don't know, reaching in with something. I'm doing this through a camera. Unlocking it. Or maybe using the key will, no, because that should lock it. Going this way, it should ride that ramp. See, on the other side is a ramp, so I'm assuming it might ride the ramp if you used your normal key to lock it again. Maybe that's what this extended arm here is for. So you can overextend the lock, and maybe that'll be enough to pull up the ramp to unlock it, to undetectorify it. And maybe that's how you can use your key if someone, so you come home and this is triggered in the locked position and it's stopping it from working. You don't have access to this hole. Maybe you can use your key. Maybe this little snippet here allows you to use your key to lock it a little bit further. Maybe, I'm just guessing here. So it can ride the ramp and deactivate itself so you can get into your own door. Maybe. Either way, I do like how, like you just saw, I could deactivate it by reaching in and just pushing down the post. Oh, proof is in the pudding, and then I can't do it. How do I do that? There you go. Question is, why didn't it work before? Either way, I'll give you an example. There you go. I just picked the lock with my fingers. Locked, and you now can see that ramp in there. In theory, that will engage down there when it gets triggered. Maybe it needs to be a little bit of pressure. So that's when you're starting to make progress or something. The whole point though is that when you're picking and you over pick it up, that's enough to push that bar, and that should engage. It's not right now, but I think that's how this is supposed to work. So this, just like the Chubb detector, is the detector pattern. So there you go. I think we have an answer to what that is. Now, for more information on the Chubb detector, there's a Wikipedia thing on it. I'll link it down there, or give a picture of the little diagram they have, though it wasn't the great quality. But I'll put a link down to the Wikipedia for the Chubb detector down below. See if it makes more sense. But either way, I think it's pretty cool. It makes this lock even more exciting now. It has kind of cool feature in it. Again, I don't know why it's not quite working in this thing. Maybe it's because it's open. Maybe it's because of I don't quite have. This spring mechanism might require all the springs to be back and giving it pressure to help it work. And I've only got 2 wires in. I guess we can have a quick check of that. Hold on. Put it back together. It's got all the levers in the right place now. It's still in the locked state. Still doesn't quite. Feels like it's only in. Just lost a gate. Lever. Maybe there's a special key. So we remember the. Hello. If I had a quick look on the Chubb detector information, some of their locks have a special key to disengage. Maybe that's what this is for. Maybe there's a different key that lifts everything to fall into this little extra gate to help it rise the little ramp. And so maybe you could use a special key to push it a little bit further to disengage this mechanism when it gets there. Why this isn't clicking right now, I don't know. I think it's because that nose is not quite hitting. So maybe it only detects, because I can't move it. So maybe we're in the process of picking. So as you're like picking pin tumbler locks, you do one at a time. You're going to get slight movement. So maybe what it's actually doing is it's waiting till it picks up just enough movement that this bolt moves maybe like a mil or 2. So this will fully engage. And then once that fully engages, it'll be locked tight. This little extra this one's lined up here, but on some of the other plates, some of the other levers, it's not. It's lined up a different plate, which makes me tend to believe that maybe it's a different key for disengaging the mechanism. And like I said, you can still reach through here. So I think if you have this lock mounted and someone has tried to pick it and failed, it gets itself into a locked state, especially when it's already locked. This falls down, it gets itself into a locked state, can't go in or out, you can't do anything. If you're inside the building still, or can come through a different door, you can reach in and unlock it. Or if you have the special key, potentially, I'm guessing, this is my assumption, my hypothesis, you could then, from the other side, push it a little bit further, help it rise the key, getting over the bias and clicking up. And anyway, now we know what this does. We know what this does. I have an idea what this does. Thanks, Gazz, for saying, hey, this looks like a Chubb. I don't have a Chubb, obviously. I don't have any other lever locks other than this guy, the antique ones, and the other ones that the small little lever locks. So anyway, it seems like a pretty neat little lock. Yeah, thank you. Is there anything else I had to say? Big Can Bushcraft, also thanks. He had a bit of a look up on this see if he could find anything. He couldn't find anything of it. Find anything of great, like is it an antique lock? He says that might be a pretty good lock. It looks a pretty sweet little lock. Maybe it's worth something. Maybe it's not. Either way, I think it's a great lock. And thanks everyone for the comments. Thanks for Gazz again for pointing out the detector mechanism. I think it makes perfect sense. And like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily made. The patent was done in 1187. Well, I don't know. I don't know how old these things are, but it might also just be patent at 1187, or maybe I'm misreading that. Anyway, I'm going to keep jabbering on. Sorry, drop the camera. I'm not going to keep rabbiting on. Let's just end it. Thanks, everyone. Have a great one. Bye.